Hello everyone and welcome to Barca News. It's July 27, 2022 and Barcelona have reached a verbal agreement with Sevilla for the signing of Jules Kounde. Also, the club are reporting optimism in regards to the signing of Cesar Azpilicueta, and there are reports that Barcelona will be willing to sell Ter Stegen if Frenkie de Jong does not leave the club. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, my name is Mo and I created this channel so it can be a one-stop shop for all Barcelona fans where they can come here and get the latest news regarding FC Barcelona. Whether it be transfer rumors, injury updates, post-match analysis, or anything else, you will find it here. So I invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you can stay current on all the latest news regarding our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Now I'll begin with the news that Barcelona have left Dallas, Texas, and they're currently on their way to New Jersey where they will face off against the New York Red Bulls in the last preseason summer tour. Now Barcelona faced off against Juventus last night where the match ended 2-2 with two brilliant goals by Ousmane Dembélé. Now I will briefly review this match at the end of this video, so make sure you watch all the way through for my thoughts and an analysis regarding last night's match. Now on to the breaking news that Barcelona have reached a verbal agreement with Sevilla for the signing of the French defender Jules Kounde. Now Barcelona were hoping to announce the signing of Jules Kounde yesterday, however the negotiations took a little longer than expected. But now Barcelona have reached a verbal agreement with Sevilla and this agreement is pending both parties signing all the required paperwork. Now Barcelona have finalized the agreement with Jules Kounde over the weekend and the French defender will be arriving in Barcelona on a 4-year contract. Now it's expected that Barcelona will make this announcement official today or tomorrow at the latest. But one thing is for sure, and that is that Jules Kounde will be arriving in Barcelona. Now as I reported in yesterday's video, which I will leave the link for down below in the description in case you want to check it out, Barcelona have officially announced that Robert Lewandowski will be officially presented as a Barcelona player on August 5th at the Camp Nou once the team concludes the USA tour and is back in the city of Barcelona. Well, now the club are reporting that they intend to also unveil Jules Kounde as an official Barcelona player on the same day alongside the Polish striker. Now on to the news that Barcelona are reporting optimism in regards to the signing of Cesar Azpilicueta from Chelsea. Now there were initial reports stating that if Barcelona signed Jules Kounde, that Chelsea would block the move of Cesar Azpilicueta to Barcelona. Well, now the club are reporting optimism that Cesar Azpilicueta will be arriving in Barcelona. The club have already finalized the agreement with the player and they're currently in the final stages of negotiations with Chelsea for the signing of Cesar Azpilicueta to reinforce the right back position. Now both clubs are reporting that their relationships remains a good one and a healthy one, that all the reports in the media that the relationship between both clubs had deteriorated because Barcelona had beat Chelsea to the signing of Rafinha and Jules Kounde are absolutely false. It seems that the London-based club understand that these things do happen in the summer transfer market. You know, this happens every year when there are several clubs who are fighting over one player. That player cannot go to all the clubs, so he ends up choosing one over the other, and it's not something personal, it's just business. So Chelsea seems to understand this very well, and both clubs are reporting that their relationship remains a healthy and strong one. Now Barcelona have also reported optimism in regards to the signing of Marcos Alonso from Chelsea to reinforce the left back position. Now if this operation fails, as I reported many times before, Barcelona will try to sign the 24-year-old Brazilian player Caio Henrique from the Ligue 1 club Monaco. Now in my opinion, I believe that Barcelona should try to sign Henrique over Marcos Alonso. After all, Alonso is 31 years old, where Caio Henrique is 24 years old, so he would be the better long-term solution. Now on to the news of Frenkie de Jong. It seems that the Dutch player has completely ruled out any move to Manchester United, despite Barcelona and the English club reaching a deal for the transfer of Frenkie de Jong that's worth 85 million euros. Now the club have reportedly spoken to Frenkie de Jong and informed him that if he does want to stay in Barcelona, he will need to accept a salary cut. After all, he is one of the highest earners on the squad. Now, it's reported that Frenkie de Jong is open to the idea of accepting a salary cut, but he does not want to go to Manchester United because he's not convinced of the sporting project, and he wants to play the Champions League, which is something that the English club currently cannot offer him. Now, Xabi has spoken to Frenkie de Jong and informed him that if he does remain at the club and if he does accept a salary cut, that he will play a pivotal role in the squad, but that role will not be in the midfield. After all, we saw Frenkie de Jong deployed once again as a center back last night against Juventus, and we saw Miralem Pjanic playing in the center midfield position during the second half. Now, this only means that Frenkie de Jong has fallen even further behind in the pecking order in regards to the midfield, and now he has several players ahead of him, such as Sergio Busquets, Nico Gonzalez, Gavi, Frank Kessie, and now Miralem Pjanic. So if Frenkie de Jong wants to play in the midfield position, which he has expressed several times that that's his favorite position, he will be Xabi's sixth option. Now, in regards to the center back position, with the presence of Ronald Araujo, Eric Garcia, Andreas Christensen, and with the arrival of Jules Kounde, it seems that Frenkie de Jong will be Xabi's fifth options in regards to the center back position. So it's not looking very good for Frenkie de Jong, and I personally believe that he should consider leaving the club to another team where he will be able to play a more pivotal role. Now, speaking of Frenkie de Jong, the media outlet SER are reporting that if Barcelona are unable to offload Frenkie de Jong, they will enact their plan B, which would be selling the goalkeeper Marc-Andre Ter Stegen. Now, Ter Stegen is a player whose contract was renewed by the previous president, Josep Maria Bartomeu, and therefore he has a very high salary, and it's a salary that will continue to increase with every season until the expiration of his contract, the same way Frenkie de Jong's salary is structured. So it's reported that Barcelona will look to offload Marc Ter Stegen in order to clear their wage bill for the incoming new signings. Now, Barcelona have not confirmed this report, and there aren't media outlets confirming this report either, so I would take this report with a grain of salt until this information can be further corroborated. Now, we will end today's news segment with the news that Xabi has plans for the youngster Pablo Torre, who the club signed this summer from Racing de Santander. Now, Xabi's plans for Pablo Torre is to include him in some of the senior team's trainings and to have him play some matches with the senior team as well. Now, Pablo Torre has had several brilliant performances against Olot, Inter Miami, and once again last night against Juventus. But it's important to remember that Pablo Torre was signed as a Barcelona B player, or as a Barcelona Athletic as they will be known next season, and he was not signed as a senior team player. So he will not be playing the entire season with the senior team, but Xabi does plan on calling him for certain matches because he wants him to continue his growth and development with the Barca B team without putting too much pressure on him by making him a starter in the senior team. Now, we will end today's video with a brief review of last night's match where Barcelona faced off against Juventus in Dallas, Texas, and where the match ended in a 2-2 draw. Now, Barcelona had a very chaotic and disorganized first half, but they had a much better performance during the second half. Now, during the first half, Barcelona dominated for the first 10 to 15 minutes, with Juventus absolutely dominating for the entire stretch of 20 minutes, and with Barcelona finally regaining the control of the match towards the end of the first half. Now, the team was very disorganized. It did not play well together, did not combine well. They didn't move the ball as fast as they should have or as often as they should have, and they constantly lost the ball, which Juventus was able to exploit these errors, maintaining the possession and the absolute control of the first half for a stretch of 20 minutes. Now, the team's underperformance and disorganization could be attributed to Xabi's experimentation with the lineup. After all, he did deploy both Robert Lewandowski and Aubameyang at the same time, with Robert Lewandowski playing as a central attacker and with Aubameyang, who plays in the same position, being deployed on the left wing. Now, in the midfield, Xabi also experimented with Sergio Busquets playing in his usual center midfielder position, and with Nico, who's supposed to be Sergio Busquets' replacement in that position, was deployed on the right, and with Frank Kessie, who's usually deployed on the right, was deployed on the left. Now, this combination did not work at all, and the midfield was not able to control the match or dictate the pace of the first half. Now, despite the team's bad performance in the first half, it was not completely a bad thing. After all, this is a preseason match, and this is what these matches are for. These matches are for coaches to experiment, to try different players in different positions, to try out different formations and lineups, and to learn from those errors. So I believe that now Xabi and the coaching staff will be able to take all that information from yesterday's match, and they will be able to learn from their mistakes and build upon it and know what works and what doesn't work with the squad. Now, the first half ended with a 2-1 score, with Dembélé scoring both of Barcelona's goals with 2 successful runs to the box where he left defenders on the floor left and right, and where he scored 2 brilliant goals, which if you haven't watched, I highly encourage you to go and watch the replay. Now, during the second half, several substitutions were made, with Rafinha coming in for Dembélé and putting on, once again, another amazing performance where he even hit the woodwork from a free kick. Now, this is the kind of competition that Xabi wanted in the team, with 2 strong players for each position that would put pressure on each other and incentivize each other to play as best as possible and to train as hard as possible, because they know that if they don't, the other player might take their position. And this is exactly what we saw last night, with Dembélé had a brilliant first half and Rafinha came in the second half and also performed brilliantly. Now, Ansu Fati also had a great second half where he too hit the woodwork in the same exact spot that Rafinha had hit it a few seconds before. Now, several substitutions were made during the second half, and the team was able to perform much better than the first half. They were much more organized. They combined and played better together. They also moved the ball a lot faster and more often than they should, and they were able to control the second half and dictate the pace of the match. Now, despite the team's improved performance in the second half, Juventus were still able to score their second goal, and the Italian team exposed a lot of rifts in Barcelona's defense. Now, Xabi will have to work on these mistakes in the defense, and hopefully with the arrival of Jules Kounde, some of the problems with the defense will be able to address. Now, in my opinion, I'm thankful that Juventus were able to expose Barcelona's defense, because then Xabi and the coaching staff will be able to learn their lesson from this match, and they'll be able to improve the team and continue to build upon the team's form to get the best version that will be able to challenge other teams for trophies. After all, these are not the kind of lessons that you want to learn when the official season begins, because by then it might be a little bit too late and it might cost you a trophy. Now, the team will play their 4th and last USA Tour match against the New York Red Bulls, and then they will head back to the city of Barcelona, where they will play the last preseason match in the Joan Gamper Trophy against the Mexican side Pumas on August 6th. And after that, the official season will begin with Barcelona playing their first match against Rayo Vallecano. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I invite all of you to please leave a comment down below, giving me your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you and about Barcelona's performance against Juventus in last night's match. Finally, I invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you can stay current on all the latest news regarding FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video, and as always, peace, Barça.